Sai Satcharitra Chapter 1. It includes salutation, the story of grinding wheat and its philosophical significance. According to an ancient and revered custom, Ematpan finished the work, the Sai Satcharitra with various salutations. First, he bows and prays to the god Ganesha to remove all obstacles and make the work a success, and says that Sri Sai is the god Ganesha. To the goddess Saraswati to inspire him to write the work, and says that Sri Sai is one with the goddess and he himself singing his own life. To the god Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, the creating, preserving, and destroying deities respectively, and says that Sainath is one with them, and Sai, as the great teacher, will carry us across the river of worldly existence. To his tutelary deity, Narayan Adinath, who manifested himself in Konkan, the land reclaimed by the Lord Rama from the sea, and to the Adi Purusha of the family. Then to Bharadvaja Muni, into whose clan he has born, and also to various saints, Yajnavalkya, Bhrigu, Parashara, Narad, Vedavyasa, Sanak, Sanandan, Sanat Kumar, Shuka, Shaunak, Vishwamitra, Vasistha, Valmiki, Vamadeva, Jaimini, Vaishampaya, Nava, Yogendra, and also to modern saints such as Nivriti, Gnadev, Sopan, Muktabai, Janardhan, Ekanath, Namdev, Tukaram, Kanha, and Narahari. To his grandfather Sarashiv, Father Raghunath, his mother who passed away in his infancy, to his paternal aunt who raised him, and to his lowly elder brother. Then to the readers and prayers to them to give their whole and undivided attention to his work. And lastly to his Guru Sri Sainath, an incarnation of Sri Dattatreya, who is the soul refers and who will make him realize that Brahman is the reality and the word of illusion. After describing briefly the various modes of devotion according to Parashara, Vyasa, and Shandilya, the author goes on to relate to the following story. It was one morning sometime after 1910 when I went to Masjid in Shirdi to receive Sai Baba's darshan. I was wonderstruck to see the following phenomena. After washing his mouth and face, Sai Baba began to make preparation to grind wheat. He spread his sack on the floor and thereon set a hand mill. He took some quantity of wheat in a winnowing fan, and then drawing up to the sleeves of his comfy and taking hold of the peg of the hand mill, started grinding the wheat by putting a few handfuls of wheat in the upper opening of the mill and rotating it. I thought to myself, what business had Baba with the grinding of wheat when he had possessed nothing, stored nothing, and lived on alms? Some people who had come there through likewise, but none had the courage to ask Baba what he was doing. Immediately, the news of Baba's grinding which spread into the village, and men and women flocked there to see Baba's act. Four bold women from the crowd forced their way up, gently pushed Baba aside, and forcibly took the handle into their hands, and then, singing Baba's Leela, started grinding. At the first, Baba was encouraged, but on seeing the woman's love and devotion, he was very pleased and began to smile. While they were grinding, they began to think that since Baba had no house, property, or children, and since he lived on alms, he did not require any wheat flour to make bread. What would he do with this large quantity of flour? Perhaps, as Baba was very kind, he would distribute the flour among us. Thinking in the way, while singing, they finished the grinding, and after putting the hand mill aside, they divided the flour into four portions and were about to take the flour away. Baba, who had been calm and quiet up till then, got a wild and started yelling at them, saying, Ladies, have you gone mad? Whose father's property are you looting? Have I borrowed any wheat from you so that you can safely take the floor? No, please do this. Take the floor and throw it on the village border limits. On hearing this, women felt abashed and despairing among themselves went to the outskirts of the village and spread the floor as directed by Baba. Ask the people of Shirdi what was that Baba did. They replied that as an cholera epidemic is spreading in the village. This was Baba's remedy. It was not the weed that was grown, but the cholera itself was grown to pieces and pushed out the village. From this time onward, the cholera epidemic subsided and people of Shirdi were happy. I was very pleased to know all this, but my curiosity was also aroused. I began to ask myself what earthly connection was there between wheat flour and cholera. What was the casual relationship between the two, and how was one day recalling them? The incident seemed to be unexplained. I felt I should write something about this and sing to my heart's content Baba's sweet Leela's miracle. Thinking about his Leela filled my heart with joy, and I was thus inspired to write about Baba's life, the Sai Satcharitra. And as we know, with Baba's grace and blessing, this work was successfully accomplished. The philosophical significance of grinding, apart from the meaning which the people of Shirdi gave this incident of grinding wheat, there is, we believe, a philosophical significance too. Sai Baba lived in Shirdi for about 60 years, and during this long period, he did the business of grinding almost every day. Not the wheat alone, but the sins, the mental, the physical afflictions, and the misery of his innumerable devotees. The two stones of his mill consisted of karma and bhakti, the former being the lower and the latter the upper. The angle with which Baba's worked the mill was jnana. It was the firm conviction that knowledge of self-realization is not impossible unless there is a prior act of grinding of all the impulses, desire, sins, and of the four gunas, tattva, raja, tama, and ego, which is so subtle and there is therefore so difficult to get rid of. This reminds me of a similar story about Kabir, who, upon seeing a woman grinding corn, said to his guru, Nipati Ranjan, I am weeping because I feel the agony of being crushed in a wheel of worldly existence. Like the corn in that handmaid, Nipati Ranjana replied, do not be afraid, hold fast to the handle of knowledge of this myth, as I do, and do not wander far from the same, but instead turn inward to the center, and you are the sure to be saved. Om Shri Sai Pranam.